Hi everybody, it's Denny from Master Teaching here, and I'm back from Christmas as I hope you all are. And it was a bit of a slow Christmas this year, wasn't it? I think everybody felt that, and we all sort of stayed at home and stayed safe and did what we could to enjoy ourselves with our families, or if you didn't have your family, with your friends. So, there you go. So, today I thought I'd talk to you about the next step, which is going back to school. And for some new teachers, it's going to school. So, if you're a bit nervous about going back to school or going to school or you're going to a new school, how are you going to handle that? What are you going to do? So I think the first thing to do is to be extremely well prepared. And to be well prepared, you have to be well informed. So you need as much information as you can get. Now, that might not be as available as it probably should be, but it probably isn't as available as it could be and would be helpful. So I think what you need to do is to make sure that you've got at least, I would do at least a week's work in preparation so that you've got a week up your sleeve with these kids, and prepare things that help you to get to know things about them, things that will organise them into situations which will be repeated during the year. So this is a time when you teach routines. Now, I know all teachers know this if you've been teaching for a long time, but if you haven't been, or if you've been out of the classroom, or you're coming into a different level, you have to think about that. How will these children respond to the ways that you have for managing in your classroom? So what I think is that on the first day, I think you have to be extremely motivating, and it's very hard work for the whole of the first term. So I think that's something that you just have to take in your stride and get prepared for it. Get plenty of rest at night. Don't go out and do silly things, because you're going to need every bit of energy you can muster, and that will allow you to get through the rest of the year with quite reasonable input. But it's going to be heavy work for a term. So the kinds of things that you need to think about are how you're going to teach your children to do the transitions that you need them to do. Do they line up at your school, at the new school? Do you know that? They probably don't line up boys and girls anymore, so have a good think about that, because it may be wherever you're coming from that they actually have done that. So we don't do it as often here in New Zealand as we used to, and I know in a lot of countries now it's seen as not particularly sensitive in terms of gender issues and all kinds of things, which is fair. So I would let them line up as they choose, but on the proviso that they line up well. And I think that's something that you can really benefit from, is getting across to them within the first week or so, and even the first 2 days. Get across to them that you are for them and they are yours, because they need to know that. They need to know that they're not in limbo. Um, if they are feeling like they are in limbo, it'll be harder for you, but it'll be stressful for them. And they will get very, very tired. So remember that towards the end of the day, it doesn't matter what level they're at, you're going to be tired at the end of the day. Think about the fact that the kids, students, whatever you want to call them, learners, at the end of the day, they will also be tired. They may not all show it in the same way. You're not going to get, big kids curling up in a ball on the mat and feeling like they need to go to sleep, but they will be tired and it's going to be hard. So that's not a negative thing. It's a positive. You can use that energy, but you need to have appropriate activities for the right times of the day, and you need to make sure that you don't labour issues. If something doesn't work, stop doing it. Don't keep it going. Just let it go and try it another way on another day, if it's something that you really think they need to do. If not, change it completely. Don't do it. There's nothing like failure on failure on failure. It's much better to just say, okay, well, that didn't work. I'll try something different. And look for things that will tell you what these kids are interested in, and figure out, do things like find out who their friends are, find out what their favourite games are, find out what they got for Christmas. If they didn't get something for Christmas, well, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Find a way to find that information out in a sensitive way. Don't ask them straight out, oh, what did you get for Christmas in front of everybody else? Maybe they can just write about it. Maybe they don't want to write about it. And if they don't want to write about it, that tells you a lot of things. Okay, so give them some options, give them some agency, and make sure they feel safe. So that's your first thing. Make sure they feel safe and they know that you're their significant person, adult, that they can go to when they have a problem or there is any difficulty. Okay, so that's my tip for today, and thank you very much. I'll see you again at Master Teaching shortly.